Well, hello everybody and welcome back to the channel, guys. Today, guys, I have a visual novel here today called The Bottom of the Well. Doesn't have any menu screen, so it just says click here to start. So why don't we go ahead and do that? All right. Oh, we go down into the well, I guess. I like the mouse pointer. Okay, here's the main screen here. So yeah, let's just start a new game, guys. No need. Welcome to the bottom of the well. This game is a visual novel, meaning it is a mainly text-based piece of interactive fiction, a book where you get to decide what happens next. Most of the gameplay consists of picking your choices from a selection of options, which will further the story. Click down here. Bottom of the Well does have some gameplay aside from multiple choice, though the most important of which is the kind of Alice, our protagonist, you are going to play. For your first playthrough, we recommend you use default Alice, but the customization is there to use, okay? Even if you complete the game, a different Alice might have a very different experience. If nothing else, you might just find a new way to die. Thank you for playing our game. Red Nettle Studios. That is them right there. That's their logo there. Alright, so this is, I guess, Alice here. I like the look of her. It's kind of like a film noir look. It's got fitness, some things written in her like dating and career and survival, I guess that is, and that's me. Supplies and social life. Okay, so it said we have here. I would like the default Alice recommended. I would like random generated Alice. I would like the custom Alice. I like dark Alice. That may be something I might do later on, but we're gonna stick with what the developer said, guys. We're gonna click with default Alice. Yes, we can accept and start. So guys, this game is pretty short. It is about 20 minutes. Let's see here. The text says Dreamy Diary. Today, morning. Okay, morning. What do we do here? Do we start? No. Oh, did you catch the anniversary reading last night? No. Well, I tried, but I fell asleep. Listen about that, okay? About what? You fell asleep? Oh, come on, Alice. And Wonderland is like our favorite. Let me finish. Something happened. By the time I can read, guys, I was tuning in on my radio. Just such a Luddite. Amazing. I can even catch you online. Shut up. I'm not a Luddite. I just like analog things. Anyway, I was turning into the state broadcast and I must have hit the AM switch or something because suddenly the channel changed to something else. What? Aliens? Oh, government run number stations. No, it was this weird like white noise at first. It's hard to explain why I was so drawn to it. I could hear snippets of some melody, maybe lyrics, but the signal was weak. So you turned it off and continued looking for the Alice broadcast. So I went out on my balcony and turned the antenna around until the signal came through clear. It now sounded more like music with the odd signal in the background. ... When logic and proportions have fallen sloppily dead, and the white knight is taken backwards, and the red queen off with her head. Okay. Oh, so somebody's pirate radio broadcast of golden oldies. It felt like there was something else there, some message that the music was hiding. I know it sounds weird, and then I fell asleep. What a story! No, hear me out. I dreamt and I didn't know I was dreaming. Do you understand? It was entirely lucid, but like waking up in another world, except I didn't think of it as another world. Ugh. Does it make any sense? You had me at super lifelike dream where you didn't know you were dreaming, but you were still lucidly in control. Sounds pretty rad to me. Okay. I'm sure it would have been, except for the whole end of the world apocalypse bit in the dream. Okay, that's weird. Now you've got my attention. All right. I said, "Ooh, this is weird." Let's see. It's a Wednesday, July 1st, cloudy day. So Alice C says, so like I said, it was the end of the world. Everything I did that day felt like the real thing. Every smell, every sound, every color, every touch. It's important to know that I wasn't acting like I would in a dream. I didn't know it was a dream. Alright. Heavy. Mad H. Okay, Mad Hatter. There was no warning, no build-up, nothing, just between one moment and the next. And the TV had turned to the emergency alert system, and this voice that sounded like it had been recorded in the 60s told us we were under attack. Oh, were you alone? Yeah, I had a really long day at the office, so I had sworn off all social contact for the evening. I had the TV in the background just as noise. Wait, what? The office? You mean you got some kind of real adult person job in this dream of yours? Yeah, actually, at the college student admission office. Hey, don't sound so surprised. I am going to graduate in just a few months, with BA in English Lit. Shut up. Such skill with words. Anyway, what happened next? Like I said, the TV suddenly turned into the emergency broadcast system. Jacked the volume all the way up to, I didn't even know they could do that. The broadcast told us we were under attack right now and that we need to get to shelter. That we had less than 30 minutes before the bombs hit. Oh, that's heavy. Jesus, sounds scary. At first I didn't want to believe it. I switched the channels, but they were all the same. And then the sirens started, tornado sirens, flood sirens. I don't know. And I knew things were serious. So what did you do? I went online to find out what was going on. I immediately tried to call Chess. I needed to think about my options. I immediately called Chess. Okay. Chess, who's that? My boyfriend. I mean, I don't have a boyfriend, but in my dream I did. Wait up. Tell me more about this sudden new boyfriend of yours. I thought you weren't in the dating scene. Actually, I've been thinking about putting myself out there, like maybe some online dating or something, although I'm kind of afraid to check OkCupid right now. What if there's a guy there named Chess? Good icebreaker. Hi, I'm Alice. I dreamt about you last night. You were my end of the world buddy. Funny. Aren't I Jess? You were saying about Chess. What kind of name is that anyway? I wasn't really, yeah, he was pretty hot, I guess, and smart and into me. What more could you ask for? It's a dream guy, right? It's a dream, right, you said? I can't sense you blushing all the way over here. Maybe I should check my OkCupid profile, actually. So, what did your boyfriend think? Well, at first I tried calling him, but all I got was a pre-recorded network busy message, but the net still worked, so I hit him up there. We did most of our communications in the chat anyway, kind of like this, and I found him, but there was no time for, anything. I started typing, holy hell, what the WTF is going on style stuff. He just, something replied he had to go. That's a little blunt. Yeah, it's true. That's kind of blunt. It's like, oh, okay, I gotta go. He told me he needed to go get his sister. His sister? How come? He mentioned her a few times. She's disabled, but lives in a house by herself, out somewhere in the boroughs. So that's weird. Did he ask you to come too? He didn't ask. I did. I'm going to be outside my apartment in 5 minutes, he said, and then logged off. I guess that's an invitation of sorts, so what did you do? Well, I knew that Chess wasn't going to wait for me. If I wanted to go with him, I had to go right away. Just grab my stuff and go. Making quick decisions in the spur of the moment doesn't sound like you. So, what did you do? I went with Chess to help out his sister, okay? So I decided to go with Chess. I mean, how could I? How couldn't I? He clearly needed help. Altruistic. How long had you been dating? Cynic. Long enough to know that my feelings were real. I mean, they felt real in the dream. Sometimes dreams really feel real in dreams. Have you ever had a dream that something happened to somebody and then all of a sudden you just had the feeling to just call them? I have. I've called friends like, are you alright? Called family members, are you okay? Alright, where were we? Where did the sister live again? In the boroughs. Practically the suburbs. Pretty far. Chess said he usually takes the subway or a bus, there we go. Chess actually lives just down the street, and we always had a customary place to meet. We didn't even need to confirm the place anymore, but it didn't seem very likely we would be able to catch a bus or the subway. Sweet. So how were you planning on getting to the sister in less than 30 minutes? Oh, spoilers. The bombs didn't start dropping on us within 30 minutes. It took longer than that. They did start though. That's lucky. Yeah, well, it didn't mean that we weren't in a hurry. But you didn't leave empty-handed though, right? Oh, right, yes. I grabbed the biggest bag I had. A backpack. People always call it magic. You could fit so much into it, bigger on the inside and all that. Kind of like the TARDIS. Alright, let's see here. So I'm guessing this is all our inventory. Not quite sure what to do with all this. Do I take food? Take a day food here. I guess we take the radio, and I guess in the world we're gonna need a flashlight, right? Take a map. Let's see, take sleeping bag. I guess we can just exit the inventory. Okay, all right. Mad Age, go on. Burrow, sister, bombs coming. How did you plan to get there in the chaos? The chaos. Oh yeah. The streets were nuts. Everything and everyone was going crazy. Crashes everywhere, but no one was responding. The streets was completely gridlocked. I'm talking maybe 15 minutes after the first announcement here. All it takes is a few cars in the wrong place. That's right. That's how accidents happen. But you live pretty centrally, right? It had to be better further out. Did Chess have a car? No. But if we wanted a car, there was tons around. People just left them keys in the ignition and ran. Holy shit. It really must have been bedlam. Probably was. Think about bombs are dropping, dude. I mean, there are like people running scared for their life. Like she said, I was so scared. So, steal a car or walk? We discussed walking. It was like 14 miles or something. I'd probably take at least 4 or 5 hours on a good day, and this wasn't a good day. Maybe a good start though. Things might clear up outside the downtown area and you might be able to steal a car there. Appropriate a car. Stealing sounds so criminal. Heh. Whatever you say. Any other option except stealing? Appropriating a car and hoofing it. Something in between. I know a guy with a motorcycle. He really loves that motorcycle, but I wonder if maybe he'd be willing to borrow it. I mean, for fuck's sake, we were going to go rescue a disabled woman. You know him well? Reasonably. I didn't know you Didn't know you knew how to drive a motorcycle. I'm a woman of many talents. That's okay. So what did you do? I tried to appropriate a car. We decided to walk. Let's see here. We decided to try with my acquaintance with the motorcycle. Let's go that route. The motorcycle seemed like a good idea at the time, except that when I arrived at the building, the first thing I saw was him outside prepping his ride together with a group of similarly equipped motorcycle guys. So much for borrowing a motorcycle then. That's true. He recognized me when I approached. He looked pretty distracted, packing up the saddlebag on the motorcycle with all kinds of things, but he stopped for a second to talk. Okay. Hello. I see you are making your escape. Would you happen to have a spare slot in your escapo machine? He said he was headed towards a fallout shelter. When I asked him what he was talking about, he told me there's a old shelter down on 3rd under the Brad Bar. Your old hangout? What are the odds? Anyway, he said he could take me. He knew the owner of the place. Sounds like a good alternative. What did you think? Well, Chess immediately said no thanks. He looked at me. What did you tell him? Well, we just can't leave my man behind. So we're gonna go get his sister. So no, daring escape into the sunset, your motorcycle with bombs going off behind you. What a pathetic excuse for a power fantasy this dream of yours is. I don't think it ever was a power fantasy or necessarily fantasy at all. Anyway, I still had to make a choice and had already lost a lot of time. Let's see here. Let's go ahead and just steal that motor. Let's steal that car. By your description, this seems like kind of a bad idea. Well, finding a vehicle wasn't easy, but had all been abandoned for a good reason. They weren't going anywhere. I had to find one I could feasibly get out of there with. An abandoned one you could feasibly get out of there with, right? So how did you do that? How did that go? And what did Chess have to say about this? He was game, anything to get to his sister faster, but he figured we'd make better time if we split up. I went for the car, he went to scout out a route. Okay, sounds like a plan. True, it is a plan. I wasn't really sure what I was looking for, just that I needed a car. Stat. I found a station wagon open and with the keys in the ignition. No sign of the owner. I jumped in and gunned it and got maybe half a block before I hit complete traffic stop. Everyone was beeping. People were abandoning their cars. All traffic rules forgotten. I'm not sure what else you'd expect. Yeah, well, I decided walking was the best option. The whole downtown area was gridlocked. Cars everywhere, people running down the sidewalks, and the sirens blaring. It was like one of those disaster movies. No hope of driving anywhere at any rate. But where was everyone going? Most of them were going home, I think. People were just in the wrong place at the wrong time. And there you were, running away from home. Once I made my decision, I stuck to it, no matter how much I filled with doubt. Half an hour was nothing at all. But luckily, that estimate was completely wrong. Sometimes I'll walk half an hour in the wrong direction just because I stubbornly refuse to believe I'm lost. I didn't know what was the right direction, but I did try to get there as fast as possible, although that was a lot harder than I thought it would be. I was swept up in the mess of people and manhandled in the wrong direction more than once. Every few minutes I stopped to consult the map to make sure I was going in the right direction. Was there any danger? Like people attacking each other or something? No, I thought we were all going in the same direction, but then I realized that the crowd was heading somewhere I hadn't planned to go. A subway station. What did you do? I was swept along. It was that or get trampled or pinned against some wall. I finally managed to disentangle myself at the stalled mass of people just outside the entrance. Apparently it was closed and people were trying to break through the gate. By the time I was out though, I had lost a lot of time. Yes. It isn't that the thing you are fighting here? How far away were you planning on getting? Well, a lot further than I gotten at that point. I could practically still see my apartment building, but the crowd was slowly thinning at least, and I actually saw a vehicle in motion, an ambulance weaving in between stalled cars with its siren blaring. What did you do? Let's see here. What I had planned to find an appropriate car, kept walking, although I started looking for shelter. I kept walking, intending to get away from danger before I stopped walking. Continue our plan. I'm still not sure how you ethically justify this to yourself. I don't know either. I was scared out of my wits and seemed like a good idea at the time. Fair enough. So how did you go about it? I kind of just jumped into the first open door I found. Of course, there was no keys because the driver still had it. He had just been on the other side of the car. Seeing me sitting there, he had a minor apathetic fit and ran at me, keys in hand. God damn it, Alice. I knew you weren't car theft material. I panicked when I saw him coming and went for the door. He saw me do it and tried to stop me, but in my squirrely state, I managed to close it in his face and then immediately locked it. Of course, he didn't have the keys, but I managed to crawl out the passenger door before he got the door open again. Lucky. Yeah, hey, it was my first attempt at car theft, even if it didn't go very well. I'm assuming you stopped after this. I shulked around for a bit longer, but I didn't dare try another car. The next guy might have a gun in his hand, not the keys. So finally, I decided to stop wasting time and start walking. Alright, we're gonna walk. Okay, cool. It sounds like a plan. Shouldn't you be finding some kind of shelter? Okay, yes, I was actively looking while walking. No, I still hoped I could get far enough away to be out of danger. Okay. Just single-mindedness was what led me. I was pretty sure this was a monumental mistake and that we'd get caught outside and killed for sure, but I couldn't just leave him, so we kept walking. So how did you work out? How did that work out for you? You think it was easy? People had driven out into the sidewalks and left their cars. Everything was a mess. I tried going down the main highway, but proved pointless, and I had to backtrack. I didn't say it was easy. Did you consider running? I half ran. I love when people half run and jogged as much as I could, but it felt like being late for class. I got tired almost immediately while the goal was still as far away as ever. Just wanted to go faster, but slowed down when he saw I was struggling. Then the worried look on his face went nowhere though. And well, I saw the streaks above my head trailing a white cloud. Uh-oh. What, you were outside when the bombs fell? I don't know. I thought I'd have time to get away, but I just wasted too much time. Wasted too much of it somehow. I was out on the street when the initial shockwave came. There was just no duck and cover could have saved any of us there from the I lost my place. From that, don't even think. The next thing I knew, I'm showered in glass as every window above us shattered. Cars swerved off the road and crashed. Bedlam and lights, bright lights. I tried to crawl out of the way, then something hit me. Maybe a piece from the building. I can't see that. You have a really fucked up imagination, Alice. It didn't feel like a dream. That's the thing, because you don't wake up in a dream, do you? But I did. Bleeding alone out of the street, on the streets. What did you see? I guess this is what we're seeing. I saw a burning city, ash raining down, and downtown far too close, a mushroom cloud just staring at me in the face. It was the end of the world. I just knew that there was there, and then, jeez. And then there was a streak of light, and it was actually almost beautiful as it fell from space. Just a streak of light at only a slight angle. I just had time to think, no, we had enough before it hit. For some reason, I elected to stare right at it when it impacted above the ground in a terrible fireball. This music is getting real eerie. Please tell me the dream ended there. Yeah, I didn't really see it though, but I died eventually in the dark. ... And thus concludes my dream. Well, that was interesting. What did you do? What did you think? I think it felt incomplete, like there was something missing that wasn't the way it was supposed to end, you know. Dreams are supposed to end in certain ways. This one was. I think it felt like it was trying to tell me something, but I wasn't listening close enough. Maybe you can try again next night. See if you hear the same recording. Speaking of, what frequency was it on? That's the weird part. When I tried to see, I realized I had hit the right channel, and it was in fact reading Alice in Wonderland. And this isn't exactly some obscure number station frequency on the AM band. Well, maybe you will dream it next night again. Anyway, that's a good thing with dreams. You can always dream them again. I'm not sure. I don't really remember my dreams. I don't ever really dream dreams again. That I can remember, guys. And maybe do something different the second time around. Alright. Is that the end? Radio Studios is Natasha Woods. Yeah. She's the graphics and CEO. Pete Petter, is a narrative designer. Anything else, guys? Alright, here's this is the credits, guys. Alright, cool. Music is by Jussi. I think it's like Finnish, guys, or something. Not quite sure. Font is typewriter. Roger White is from Font Space. Built on Fungus by Chris Gregan at this website. Interesting, guys. Very interesting story we've went through. I got the achievement. Better prepared. Well, guys, that's going to conclude The Bottom of the Well. It has multiple endings, guys. Like I said, if I mentioned it before in the beginning of this, that it takes about 20 minutes. I'm not sure how long it took me because I can't see where I'm at in the recording here. But it's multiple endings. It's got like several endings, guys. So I will probably play this, off camera to see how many endings I get. I probably Won't record them for the channel. I'll just go through and see what happens and read it on me own. So yeah, guys, that's going to conclude today's recording, guys. So I hope you have enjoyed this little playthrough of The Bottom of the Well. If you have, please leave me a like, drop me a comment, guys. Tell me what you think. You know, it's very interesting for me to play this. It's a lot of reading for me. I don't do a lot of reading. But yeah, guys, and don't forget to share it with your friends out there, guys. Get this kind of content out there for people who like visual novels that are free to play. If I haven't mentioned, this is a free to play graphic novel or visual novel, or both, or whatever you want to call it, on Steam, guys. So if you want to check it out for yourself, I will leave that description and I will leave that link in the description below. There we go. Got that right. I want to make sure I get that right and speak English, right, Roll? So yeah, guys, I will see you guys next time.